Well, today is November 28th, 2024, and this is our annual Thanksgiving show, Thanksgiving night. And I've just been thinking about Thanksgiving a lot lately and what it means and how it changes, morphs over the years as you move throughout your life a little bit. And how does it change for you? I mean, for me, I catch myself thinking back about some family maybe that I think about. Now, when you're younger, you don't do this, but when you get older, you'll realize you start thinking about the past a lot more. Do you agree or not?
I agree. Yeah. I told you wasn't going to do this today.
Well, I mean, so sometimes it can be a sad time.
Yeah.
But to use this opportunity, as we do think back about the past a little bit, as a moment to be thankful for what we've been blessed with.
It's true. I think about traditions. And when we were little, how we were so stuck in traditions, and I thought it was a bad thing at the time. You know, oh, it's Thanksgiving again. We got to go here on this date. Da 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 da. Now that those people's not here anymore, I really do miss those traditions. True.
But in these different ways of looking at it, we can get sad real quick. But to think about the blessings of those times that we had, and also the blessings of having these people in our lives. Because we've lost loved ones in the last year, just like most of you have too. So it's an ongoing thing as we get older. Life goes on, and these kind of things happen, and the holidays rolls around and things are a little bit different. We just had a conversation last night with a couple that we know that lost their 35-year-old son this year, and that was tough. It's going to be really tough for them. I mean, it's tough. So they was really having a hard time going into the holidays. But what I'm trying to say is, I guess we need to focus on the thankfulness more than the sorrow, the sadness of what has happened. Because the reality is, we've all been extremely blessed with relationships, the family members that we've had in our life and things like that.
And those that are still here.
So the focus, I think this Thanksgiving, is to be thankful as we look back on things like that. On a lighter note than that, we're going to be doing a Potager walkthrough today, showing you all our Thanksgiving garden and what our Thanksgiving garden looks like on the holidays, and how do we enjoy all those vegetables and everything out of it. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to walk through that and talk about that, because it's amazing what your Potager garden has done. And it's still got some things to go in there. We've still got some things to do, but it has really
What do we have left to do?
What you mean?
In the Potager garden.
Oh, yeah. We got a building project garden shed I've been putting off, but I got to get on it. I've been, I got to get on that. Thanks for reminding me about that.
I'm so thankful that you remembered.
All right, folks, let's get out there and walk through the Potager garden and show you just what all you can grow in a small area. Welcome to the Row by Row Gardening Show, the best dadgum gardening show on the internet, where we talk about gardening, a little bit of cooking, and growing your own food. Now sit back and enjoy. Although I do like the way this garden turned out, I can tell you somebody is really limited on land or area. I think we probably could have made this a lot smaller. We got some pretty good sized walkways in here, around in there, so I think it could have compacted it a good bit, but the way we set it up works for us because we got plenty of area down here, and you wanted plenty of room to work around.
Well, I wanted room to ride my side-by-side in here, and if I need to haul stuff in and out.
Right.
So we got this mulberry bush at Homesteaders of America 4 years ago.
Yeah, I think you would say a dwarf mulberry tree, right?
Yeah. I think that's what it's supposed to be. I had it in a pot for up until this year. So this will be the second winter. And I talked about last week that it was making mulberries again.
Yeah,
and someone
said this one right here. Isn't that pretty right there?
That it must be an everbearing. But I'm kind of leery about where I put it. But one thing I heard from Tracy last week on her podcast is trees are meant to be moved. So it's okay if you decide that you put it somewhere and then you have to move it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to me to see what dwarf means, how big dwarf is. Because I've seen regular mulberry trees in the past.
But look at all those pods on there.
And we love mulberries. All right, moving over to this right here. Some folks out there use the green stalk planter. Now this right here we used as an herb / greens. Got some kale in. They got a hodgepodge.
So like a salad garden.
Salad garden there.
I've
Got
even
some
got
basil that needs clipping back.
Carrots that I'm trying out in here.
Yeah, I don't think your carrots are going to do well, but we'll see. They're
Yeah.
starting to come out right there. But we've got 2 of these, and this one seems to be doing pretty good.
Yeah, the oregano is really doing good up top.
Yep.
Be interested to see how it does through the winter. Here we got some Corota carrots. They're the Chantenay type, so they're short and stocky, and they're easy to grow. If you're a first-time beginner, I would say this would be what you want to grow.
So this is a grow bag right here. A grow bag or raised bed seems to work really good on carrots there because nice, good, soft, high organic. So I'm going to pull one.
You want to pull one up. I knew you wanted to pull one up.
So I'm going to pull this one right here. Look there. Yep, we got a root system on that baby right there. Come springtime, early spring, those things will be delicious.
It's come January, we can start eating on them. Cool beans.
Now this is Bloomsdale Spinach from our seed tape here that is doing really good. And this actually at the stage we could harvest this. We could enjoy this for Thanksgiving right here.
The dark green.
It's a little bit larger leaf than some of the baby spinaches out there. But this is doing really good. Now you seem to mulch your beds. Well, I don't mulch my beds. Very few times have I mulched a bed because I flip mine pretty quick here. But you put pine straw down there.
I had them empty for a while, so I ended up putting straw on top. So when I come to plant the seed tape, I just moved it back and planted.
Yep, that works. But this seed tape has worked really good on spinach. There again, spinach is one of those crops that's easy to plant too thick, so the seed tape makes that easy. French breakfast radish and the seed tape also that's on its way out. Probably time to flip these beds here. Look at there.
Yeah.
They pretty good size.
We've ate a bunch of them in
Tenders
salads.
time we have. And just a small little bitty area right here is produced more than what we could eat. Now, we like radishes, but we mostly just eat them in salads.
I did roast some though, tasted pretty good.
They were. But just a small area here, there again with the seed tape where it has produced a world of radishes.
Now the chickens will get them.
Now the chickens get them time to flip, and you could go back with a radish or a beet or anything else. We've still got plenty of time to get another delicious crop off this small area. Detroit dark red beet, which is our go-to beet right here. It's planted with the seed tape. You can tell we've already harvested some of those. But you can eat the leaves of this as well, and I got a large row of beets planted in my garden up there because I want to pickle a good many this year. So if you're going to pickle some, you probably want a little bigger area than what we have right here, but you can grow a lot of beets in this small area right here. And the seed tape works extremely well from that. But if you don't use seed tape, you're probably going to have to go in there and thin them out just a little bit. And we enjoy beets. It's one of those things I never grew till just a few years ago, but I enjoy growing them in the fall. I don't necessarily enjoy growing them other parts of the year, but I love to grow them in the fall and the wintertime.
And here we have a hollyhock that I'm not sure how got in. It wasn't planted here. It volunteered. And it's strange that it's blooming this time of year. I've never seen one bloom this time of year.
Now this is purple top turnip, which is planted with the seed tape. If you've not ever planted turnip seed, they are extremely small and those can get overplanted real easy, and that's the reason the seed tape works well. But even with the seed tape, you've thinned these out.
Yeah, I've picked them a couple times, every other one. And the roots, I don't like the roots to get really big. I even like them that small. But the flavor, we had these the other night, and we haven't grown turnips in a while. And I had kind of forgotten that they have a totally different flavor than the mustard and the collards.
Now, each to their own. A lot of people like a lot of roots in their turnips. We particularly don't. So these smaller ones right here are fine for us. We just like to enjoy the tops mainly.
All right, so this bed here is just kind of a hodgepodge. It's where I had the ginger last year, and I left some in there, so I've let it grow again. And this is feverfew. This is a medicinal herb too that's really good for headaches and arthritis. You can harvest the flowers off of it. It has a really good aroma, or the leaves. So I'm just going to leave this winter and see how it does.
This is your version of companion plant.
Yeah, it's what I did intentionally put the feverfew in there, but I didn't know the ginger was going to come back.
And this is our seed tape Komatsu Mustard that the worms have thoroughly enjoyed. You can tell they've had quite a bit of worm damage. Most time, I don't remember worms eating a lot of mustard, But you've used this pretty much a trap crop.
Yeah,
there.
we've ate them a couple times. I'm not a big fan of this flavor, and maybe it's because it's not been cold enough yet to change the flavor of it. But yeah, the worms have enjoyed it. And like I say, I've picked it a couple times, so it's one of those you pick and come again.
Yeah, cut and come again.
Now this green stalk here needs to be flipped. We've had lettuce in here, we've enjoyed it. It's starting to bolt, so it's just had it. I think lettuce is one of my favorite things to grow in the green stalks.
And of course, we got elephant garlic. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, roughly 25 plants in that one raised bed here.
Here's echinacea and some lemon drop that's just come back. And this bed I'll just keep for these herbs. I got some cilantro growing right here. Fall is a great time to grow your cilantro.
And we got some green magic broccoli coming along and some beets here that need to be probably discarded and flipped.
Those golden need to be fed to the chickens too.
So your broccoli starting to form heads. Mine's probably just a little bit larger than what yours are. But once these things start forming these little heads in there, it's just a few days before they're time to harvest.
Yeah, I got some bigger ones down there. I think I got my plants mixed up. So this is some holy basil that's come back, and I've got some
Garlic chives.
No, German white garlic.
Oh, okay. I thought it was garlic chives. I don't know why I thought that. And we got some twister cauliflower. Yours is struggling a little bit like mine is. I've had a good bit of disease on my cauliflower this year, and this is your broccoli.
This is my broccoli, yeah.
Yep, look at there.
I know. I'm gonna make some broccoli soup out of it.
And here we have our top bunch collards and kale. These collards here are the ideal spot right now to start cropping these things off and cooking them. I cooked up a huge pot of these right here just over last weekend, and we've enjoyed them. But this right here is a great variety to either cut as a small bunch. Boy, if you want them to last for a long period of time, go in there and crop them off. And then we got the kale on the other side that's doing extremely well. Well, folks, this right here is celery. We've been growing celery for the last couple of years, and this is absolutely wonderful. It doesn't take a very big area. You see this right here? This is more than enough celery for us. I've got a big root pouch growing up in my garden, but this stuff is tender when you pick it young, which you can do if you grow your own. It's not stringy at all. Now, I'm sure that somebody in your family made a dish at some point that nobody else can replicate. Well, my mother made the best dressing. Nobody else could make dressing like my mother. I lost her 2 years ago, and I've often dreamed about her dressing, how good it was. But I can only imagine what she could have done with this fresh celery out of the garden when she added it to her dressing. So as we get into Thanksgiving here, I'm reminded about things like that, about people, what they could make. You know, your grandmother or your mother could always make, or your aunt, whoever, some kind of signature dish that nobody else could do as well. Now, this is your version of planting bulbing onions here. These are Vidorian Texas 15. You just kind of get in there and plant them intermixed in here in your little small bed.
Well, I put them close because in the springtime, I like to eat them early.
Yeah, and pull every other one and enjoy them. Now, you see how rough these things look? That's just natural. These things go through what we call transplant shock when we put them out. But they'll come back out in a few days and look fine. But it's normal for them to look a little rough when you get them in and when you plant them.
All right, these are the green era peas, and these are my favorite peas. They remind me of the old-timey peas. And I was a little late planting them this year, so if we get a hard freeze before I get some blooms on them, I may be in trouble. But it's absolutely one of my favorite vegetables to grow.
Well, this is your version of strawberry onions or companion planting. Now, I'm completely up front, I don't do very much companion planting, but it's something that you like to do here. You see our strawberries are coming out there. They've done pretty dadgum good for as rough as they looked when they come in. We knew they would bounce back pretty good. And she planted her bulbing onions in the middle of her strawberries here. Some people would call that
strawberry onions.
But it's really just companion planting right here at its best. So the onions will make, strawberries will make, and they will kind of complement each other.
They will not taste like each other.
And we won't have strawberry flavored onions, but we will have onions and strawberries.
What about onion flavored strawberries?
Yeah.
This is my centerpiece with my solar water fountain, and I just have a mixture of annuals and perennials in this bed, just to give it a pop of color out here in the middle.
And right here is some super beef Lacelia that got a little thick on the plant there. Probably should have been planted a little thinner, but you see the purpling on that leaf right there? That's an indication that plant is stressing a little bit. I think you probably need to hit it with a good shot of fertilizer, even though it is pretty thick, I think you need to hit it with some fertilizer, kind of boost it up, get it growing good. Now, down to about 20 degrees, this will be okay. If it gets below 20, we're gonna start seeing some damage here, but we are viewing it as a cover crop, so if it doesn't bloom, we're okay. If it does bloom, then we're gonna have something nice for those pollinators. So this potager garden is still a work in progress. We had some trees we had to remove from the hurricane, plus we got your garden shed we got to do. It's a constant thing that's kind of evolving, and we'll get there eventually. Well, this week's garden spotlight is Audrey Trout, and Audrey is zone 8. Oh, I got to get them specs on so I can see.
From Blithwood, South Carolina.
Oh, I'm just going to show you. We got a lot of pictures here, but I want to show you some of those. Look at her tomatoes right there. And these are, does she say what kind of tomatoes
I don't
these
know.
are?
She's growing collards, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, bok choy, broccolini, mustard, rutabagas, turnips. Her garden sounds like mine.
She took a note out of my book. That's the way I grew my tomatoes right there. And she did that steel post with the Florida weave. That's just exactly the way I grew mine. Her looked nice and healthy.
She has 10 varieties of tomatoes.
Wow. Her Chinese cabbage, look there. Those are nice and pretty. But one thing about them is the bugs love these things. So if you can grow them without a lot of bug damage, you have succeeded with something. They're delicious and wonderful to make a good stir fry.
You can use them as a trap crop.
Oh yeah, we've done that before. And look at our little watermelons there. That is a beautiful sight there when you're growing watermelons. That little watermelon coming on. And there's some of her squash. It looks like green tint squash right there. It's one of those patty pan kind.
Yeah.
And bless her heart, she's been in the peas as well. Is those top picks?
I don't know. I think that's my big purple hull.
Those not top picks. I can tell. Here's a picture of her peas. And we've got a bunch of those in the refrigerator right now.
Yep.
And here's our watermelons and corn. Good gracious, girls being busy. And what a sight this is right here. Now that looks like a yellow boy. I don't know what kind. It's a yellow tomato for sure. If you ever never grown those yellow tomatoes, you got to have one of your friends or family taste it against a red one. I guarantee you it'll blow their mind. The yellow tomatoes have a wonderful flavor, but it plays a trick on our mind when we eat a yellow tomato. All right, so the old goat, folks, he's kind of moved around a little bit, but he's on the set here somewhere this week. Find the old goat, put in the comments below, and next week we'll draw for the winner. This week's winner from last week's sighting on the old goat is Butterfly Farms. Butterfly Farms, send us your shipping information to
support@growhouse.com.
And look at there, the socks are jumping everywhere. Look there, one size fits all, get dirty socks. Yep.
Did you see that email this week where somebody sent us a picture of
I did not.
I think it was Karen Zorn. She sent us a picture of her dirty socks.
I guess she had her britchy legs rolled up.
Yep. She did. Had her feet propped up on the...
All right, folks, thank y'all for joining us on this Thanksgiving. We hope you and your family have a wonderful, wonderful time together and take a few moments out of your time during these busy holidays to sit back and give thanks for all the blessings in your life. Thank you, and get outside and get dirty.